So, I've watched a lot of anime over the years, I think it's somewhere in the 300s at this point, and out of all of those anime, only a few have ever gotten a 10 out of 10 from me. These anime are not only masterpieces, but they legitimately changed my brain chemistry and forever influenced my taste in anime. I've decided to present them out of order and unranked, because each one of them brings something different to the table. If you'd like to see more anime rec videos and official top 10 lists, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you'd like to see the director's cut of today's video, I've got the full thing up on my Patreon, which is linked up here and in the description. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Kicking off, we have the horrific, unhinged masterpiece that is Devilman Crybaby. So, I went into this anime by asking my brother to show me an anime that would, and I quote, ruin my life. And boy, howdy did he come through. Devilman Crybaby is brutal and unrelenting. It's one of those divisive animes that you either think is a masterpiece, or you go no contact with whoever recommended it to you. It took me a while to come to terms with what I'd watched, and I legitimately did not know how to feel. But the longer I sat with it, the more that it dawned on me how this was an absolute masterpiece. The plot that sheds light on the darkness hiding inside of humanity, showcasing just how willing people are to turn against each other with violent delight. The terrifying shift that happens when people are given permission to destroy each other under the guise of protecting themselves. And those who watch on with horror, but are still able to find compassion for their fellow man as a way to retain their humanity while the world crumbles around them. Ever since I watched Devilman Crybaby, I have searched for an anime that was as f***ed up, if not more, but to no avail. I tried everything. Madoka Magica, Berserk, Elfen Lied, Shiki, When They Cry, everything. But nothing has come close, and I long for the day when I'm able to find something that lives up to that unbridled perfection that is Devilman Crybaby. There are a handful of anime whose animation prowess not only leaves you speechless, but helps evolve anime as a medium. That is what Gankutsuou, the Count of Monte Cristo, did. And not only that, it achieved this in 2004, and has since flown criminally under the radar. This anime is a breathtaking work of art, in every sense of the word. Based off of the 1844 novel The Count of Monte Cristo, Gankutsuou is a sci-fi retelling that breathes new life into this literary classic. Although I knew of the original novel, I had never read it and went into this anime absolutely blind. It is a brutal coming-of-age story following a teenage member of the aristocracy whose one-night adventure leads him down a devastating path that unravels everything he knows about the world. It's also an Eat the Rich story about dismantling the corrupt oligarchs who pull the strings of society. And at its core, it is a disturbing tale of revenge who destroys everything in its path. Gankutsuou is a masterpiece, plain and simple. It's one of those anime whose layers reveal themselves in horrifying detail, leaving you gasping for air by the end. It is honestly a crime that this anime is so underrated because it is an anime classic that everyone should really watch sometime in their life. If you've been on this channel for a while, you already know. FLCL is my all-time favorite anime, and it has been since I originally watched it 18 years ago. Now, I need to put a few disclaimers out there. FLCL is a 6-episode anime that was released in 2000. It has no sequels. It is 6 episodes, and that's it. There are also some questionable moments in this anime that not only did not age well, but they definitely make me uncomfortable as an adult watching it. I recognize and accept these flaws, but even so, I cannot help but absolutely love this anime. It's kind of hard to explain what FLCL is about. Pretty much whenever I recommend it, I always give the caveat that the plot doesn't make any sense. It starts off batshit and cranks up by 11, so by the end, just buckle up, strap in, and enjoy the ride. FLCL kicked off my deep-seated love for my all-time favorite anime genre, chaos. There's just something about batshit chaotic anime that scratches something primal within me and makes up a massive chunk of my all-time favorites, including Devilman Crybaby, Akiba Maid War, Paprika, Dandadan, VTuber Legend, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Space Dandy, and Kill la Kill. There's just something magical about anime that scream, only an anime could pull off something this f***ing batshit insane. And FLCL kicked off that deep-seated obsession that will continue forever into the future. As a creative type, there is nothing I love more than seeing creative types do what they do best. And there is no better anime that captures this unbridled joy than Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. Watching our gaggle of neurodivergent art nerds not only find their people, but find their creative voice in each other is an indescribable experience. Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken shows this process every step of the way, as two of our main characters, who are artists, connect and bounce off the walls with each other as their creativity exceeds their wildest expectations by just being around each other. Our third main character helps them stay on task, and together, they create true magic together. Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken came into my life during a very dark time and helped me survive one of the hardest eras of the last few years. I hated nearly every aspect of my life, so coming home to this wonderful show gave me a daily respite where I was actually able to be happy for once. I was so moved by this anime and I cried a lot when it ended. It's just a perfect anime, and although I would love to see another season, I am just so happy with what we got that I'm okay with it being a singular, perfect season. Speaking of Masaki Yuasa, because of course he has multiple entries on this list, we have the existential masterpiece that is the Tatami Galaxy. This anime achieves something truly incredible, in that every single episode covers a different genre of anime. We've got the sports anime episode, the rom-com destroyer of love episode, the underdog film revenge tale episode, and so many more. And then at the end of every episode is our protagonist laments about how he ruined his college experience and cries out to the gods answer and rewind time so that he can have another chance to achieve his rose-colored college experience. But with that many parallel lives and parallel universes stacked haphazardly together, it's only a matter of time until reality comes crashing down. Now, I'm an existential girly, and the way that the Tatami Galaxy tackled different existential topics spoke to my very soul. So many of us find ourselves at a crossroads during our college years and early 20s, and this anime captured that journey in an almost terrifyingly accurate detail. It helped remind me about the importance of returning to what truly matters and learning to let go of those forced aspects that I keep trying to make work in my life. The Tatami Galaxy is one of those anime that I think everyone should watch sometime in their life, as a reminder that even though the work is never done, the journey is always worth it. So, up until I was 9, all of the anime I watched was fun, bright, and sometimes unhinged, but it only went so deep. And then, I watched Spirited Away, and Jesus this anime shattered all of my preconceived notions of what anime could be and opened my eyes to the endless potential of what anime could achieve. I still remember that first viewing with vivid detail as I watched Chihiro, a girl my age, learning how to stand on her own against the most impossible of situations. Okay, so everybody here already knows this film is just perfection, and although there are incredible other Miyazaki films, none of them live up to the unbeatable masterpiece that is Spirited Away. I am so grateful for this film and for all of the other Studio Ghibli films that helped shape who I am. I even made a whole video about the long-lasting influence that these characters had on me, which you can watch linked up here and in the description. Since I talked about Spirited Away in deep detail over there, I won't go into it as much here, but I will say Spirited Away was truly a gateway that helped open up my eyes to just how vast the world of anime is and the beautiful world that I would soon dive into. There are very few films that have made me feel the way that Spirited Away did, that shattered my preconceived notions of what anime could be and left me absolutely speechless. One of those films was Paprika, which if you know, you know. This film came crashing into my world with violent fervor that instantly became an obsession that has yet to let up. It shaped my entire world, and especially my entire teenage years around it. But it wasn't just me. Paprika made waves in the anime industry and beyond. I mean, Inception literally stole a massive chunk of its concepts from it, and if Satoshi Kon had been alive to see Inception, I'm sure he would have had some words for Christopher Nolan. Just like he did for Darren Aronofsky for the quote-unquote influence that Requiem for a Dream stole from Perfect Blue. But that rant has been reserved for my Satoshi Kon video, which you can watch here. I had the privilege to watch Paprika in theaters for the first time in January. I started crying as soon as that first song started playing and continued to tear up throughout the rest of the film. It is a work of art in every sense of the word, and Satoshi Kon's premature passing from this world is one of the greatest tragedies to ever befall the anime industry. All I can do is continue to sing its praises and convince as many people as I can to not only watch this, but his entire collective work. The way that he brought his anime creations to life and wrote his characters was truly one of a kind, and there will never be anyone like him again. I have a very complicated relationship with Akira. My brother made me watch it as a teenager, and it straight up traumatized me. I was still a very fragile soul, so anything with horror, gore, or devastating endings literally ripped me apart. I was so upset when it finished, and I vowed to never watch it again. Fast forward to last year, and I finally gave it another shot. And I am so happy that I did. Like, the way that this anime bitch slapped me into submission was one for the history books. When it ended, I literally sat there in stunned silence and didn't say anything for a solid hour. I finally understood what everyone had been shouting from the rooftops about for decades, and it was honestly embarrassing that it took me this long to get on board. There is a reason why Akira is the influential juggernaut that it is. It has inspired countless anime, films, TV shows, songs, and cemented the cyberpunk genre as a whole. It is an anime classic. It literally helped bring anime to the mainstream, and I don't know of any other piece of media that has ever lived up to this amount of hype that has made this the biggest sci-fi masterpiece maybe of all time. So, while I was growing up, Lord of the Rings was one of the most defining pieces of media to influence me and my entire family. We went to every movie release, bought all of the extended edition DVDs, watched them endlessly over and over and over, to the point that I've probably seen the series at least 50 times by this point. So when I discovered that Frieren Beyond Journey's End captured that same energy, I was sold. But unlike the films and much more like the books, Frieren focuses on these small everyday adventures that truly keep the magic alive. Because of this quiet nature, Frieren probably isn't going to be for everyone, especially for those who aren't patient enough to wait for those heavy-hitting action arcs to kick in. But for those who are willing to wait, Frieren is an absolute masterpiece. The sheer amount of Tolkien influence, references, and homages throughout the series took me by absolute surprise. This non-Tolkien series is more Tolkien than the actual Lord of the Rings TV series, and honestly probably the entire Hobbit film trilogy too. I am thoroughly convinced that Tolkien is smiling down on this series and everyone who helped it come to life. Frieren is a masterpiece in every sense of the word, and a modern anime classic that will go down as one of the best anime of our generation. And in my opinion, the greatest fantasy anime ever made. Ever since I started reading Dandadan, I was desperate for an anime adaptation to be made. And when they announced it, I prayed to all of the anime gods to please not f this up. And for once, unlike Uzumaki, they actually came through. I don't care if it's presumptuous to say, but I feel like this anime was tailor-made for me. It was produced by my favorite anime studio, Science Saru. The score was by my favorite composer, Kensuke Ushio, who also did Devilman Crybaby. And the sheer insanity instantly made this my favorite anime of the year. I literally cannot wait for season 2. Like, Dandadan is such an unhinged masterpiece that hits on every single aspect of what makes me love anime as a medium. I wish I could describe just how Dandadan affects me on a cellular level, but if I listed every aspect that makes this a masterpiece, we would literally be here all day. I'm literally jamming out to the soundtrack as I write the script because every single component of this series has infected my everyday life and has forever raised the bar for gold standard anime. For the bulk of my life, anime has made me unbelievably happy. So when I walked away from it for over 11 years, I feel like I lost part of myself. Coming back to anime in 2020 has reawakened a part of myself that I'd honestly forgotten about. It helped pull me out of survival mode and reminded me what it's like to be truly happy again. I am currently going through a massive shift in my life where I'm letting go and rewriting those areas that no longer serve me, and it's honestly one of the most painful evolutions I have ever gone through. But it also means that I'm gonna get to dive deeper into my love for anime, and the thought of that makes me so unbelievably happy. Making this channel and starting this brand has been one of the best things I've done in my life, and it honestly would not have been possible without all of your support. I've decided that I want this to be the center of my world, and there's a lot of steps I need to take to be able to turn this passion into my full-time job, but because of all of you, I'm on my way there. And if you'd like to help me even further on my journey, I have launched a Patreon where I release director's cuts, including the one for this video where I get to dive even deeper into these incredible masterpieces. I want to take a moment to thank all of my Patreon members, especially Jeff Friend, Karen Miriam Goldberg, Horsey Bread, and a massive shout out to Legion Zero. If you'd like to join my Patreon community and help me quit my day job so I can do this full time, I will have it linked up here and in the description, as well as pinned in my comments. Please consider subscribing to my channel and let me know what type of videos you would like to see in the future. Thank y'all so much for sticking around, and I'll see all of y'all on the next one.